Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today is Friday, so you know what that means. It is Book Review Friday. Today's book was sent to me in exchange for an honest review, so thank you to the author and to Book Publicity Services for sending me an advanced copy of the book. It is greatly appreciated and I am very honored to be able to review this book for you guys. With that being said, as you know, just because I was sent this book does not mean that I am going to hold back on my review. I like to keep my reviews 100% honest just because that's not fair to tell you guys I like a book when I don't like a book. All my reviews are 100% honest on this channel, no matter if I was sent the book or if I bought the book with my own money. Just thought I'd let you guys know in case you didn't know that already. So the book that we are going to be talking about today is Salvation Station by Kathryn Schleich. I think that's how you say her name. I'm very sorry if that's wrong. Again, I too have a very hard to pronounce last name, so I always feel really bad when I don't pronounce other people's last names right because I know that struggle. So I think it's Schleich. If I'm wrong, very, very sorry. The cover is really cool. I like the scary baby doll. Baby dolls freak me out anyways, so yeah, the baby doll's pretty creepy. I like the font and I like the color scheme. It's really nice. So this is actually not a horror book. This is more of a mystery thriller type of book, which I also enjoy reading. So yeah, let's get into a synopsis. On May 13th, 2002, in Lincoln, Nebraska, 3 bodies are found. They are of Reverend Gregory Hansen and his 2 children. However, the wife's body was not found with the rest of the family. The family was supposed to have left Lincoln to go do ministry work in Africa at the end of March. However, they were reported missing by the missionary office in early April. Captain Linda Turner is the lead detective on this case, and she ends up learning some very interesting information on the wife. The secretary of the church says that Nicole, the wife, was very shady and she was even embezzling from the church. With only one other suspect in this case, Linda is not quite sure where this case is heading. However, she does learn that DNA from Nicole matches the DNA of 3 other women. One of the women, Susan Patterson, was actually married to a Reverend Patterson in Missouri. Linda actually ends up speaking with the Reverend Patterson and learns that Susan had also embezzled at the church that he was working at, and she disappeared with $25,000. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, Missouri, Reverend Ray Williams, a televangelist, is approached by a woman named Susanna Baker. You see, Reverend Ray is about to end his televised sermon, The Road to Calgary, because he does not have the funds to support this televised sermon anymore. He can no longer pay for all the equipment and the airtime. Susanna has some answers for the Reverend, though. She knows exactly how to boost his ratings and how to get more people involved in his church. She tells him that she received a message from God telling her to help Reverend Ray with this problem. She tells the Reverend how he saved her life and brought her out of the depths of alcoholism. She knows that God would want the Reverend to be able to reach out and do that to many, many more people. Her solution is that they listen in on the congregation with microphones, pick the people that really, really need help and have really hard problems, and then the Reverend can lead them down the road of redemption as a miracle. Susanna has many other ideas that will help the road to Calgary bloom into everything that the Reverend has dreamed of. The Reverend ends up accepting on a temporary trial basis because he believes that this could actually help him reach more people and help him bring the word of God to many more people in need. I mean, anything to do the Lord's work, right? Little does anyone know in Nebraska or Missouri that this is just the beginning of things that are about to happen. So that is the synopsis that I'm going to leave you with. And now let's get into my thoughts. One thing I really liked about the book is the multiple viewpoints you get while reading. You get to see things from Linda's point of view, which is more detective work, and just more informative in general. You get Reverend Ray's point of view, which is obviously more in the middle of everything that is taking place right now. You also get to see some point of views from people that watch or attend the sermons, which is very interesting because you get to see how devoted people are to the church, but you also get to see how blind they are to a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. You also get to see some points of view from people working at the Road to Calgary, which is very interesting because it's more of a third-party viewpoint, and it's still in the middle of everything, but just a different set of eyes. So even though this book is about religion, it doesn't come off preachy or very pro-religion. It actually comes off very critical of religion in general. I actually enjoyed the plot a lot, and it wasn't what I expected it to be at all, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and I found it to be pretty unique. I hadn't read anything quite like it. It was very frustrating to read about the religious fraud taking place. It was just kind of hard to read about how these people who really believed everything that was happening and watched them get taken advantage of, it just wasn't fun to read about, and I did not like that. I feel like I only really liked a few characters, two of them being Jeff and Buck, who worked for the Road to Calgary. They seemed to be the only ones that could see something was going on and weren't completely blind to all the fraud and suspicious activity that was happening. I just felt like they were the most realistic characters, and I just preferred reading from their point of view or having them in the book more than some of the other characters. So my only criticism of this book is that I did not find this book suspenseful in the slightest bit. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. This wasn't a page turner for me. I wasn't wondering and waiting what was going to happen next. It just didn't thrill me in any capacity. I felt like I wasn't really shocked by anything. It was more like I anticipated and predicted everything before it even happened, which was slightly disappointing because if you do watch my channel regularly, you know that I do like to be surprised and caught off guard by books, and this just wasn't one of them for me. It was very obvious from the beginning who the bad person was. I didn't have any qualms about who they were. It was very obvious in my opinion, and for a mystery thriller, I just usually expect not to know who the bad person is from the beginning. It usually takes me a hot second. I have to think about all the characters and kind of watch them closely, but for this one it was pretty obvious who the bad person was, and I was just kind of like, yeah, it's obviously this person here. They are the bad person. So that was off-putting just because there was no mystery to me. I already knew what was going on. I just was waiting for the detective to figure everything out herself because I had already kind of figured out most of it. So I don't know, it was just kind of frustrating to not be surprised or in suspense of anything. This is definitely not going to be a book for everyone. The religious tones are very much present throughout the whole thing, so if you're not someone who enjoys reading books with religion in there, even if it's critical or pro-religion, this probably won't interest you in the slightest. Overall, I did enjoy the book. I had fun reading it. I thought it was fun to read. It was an interesting plot. I just felt like it lacked a little oomph, a little something there. It just wasn't quite what I wanted it to be while I was reading it. So again, thank you to Kathryn Schleich and Book Publicity Services for sending this book my way. I had fun reading it, and I'm glad that I could review it for you guys. This book is out now. It came out in April, so I will leave a link in the description box down below if you'd like to purchase it yourself. If you have read this book, or if this sounds like something you would enjoy, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what content you are enjoying from me. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we can become friends and talk about books and makeup and horror and all kinds of things. I do lots on this channel, so there is something hopefully for everyone. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!